FNaF World's character roster is pretty well spaced out with the characters from the games, and the character progression is one of the most fun things about it. Now, what if we took all that away and grabbed the most annoying FNaF character? He's annoying here, he's annoying here. Heck, he didn't even bother to show up here. Today, we are beating FNaF World with Bonnies only. The biggest problem, however, is how many we have to work with. You see, when it comes to diversity, there are 9 Freddys in the game. When it comes to Bonnie, however, there are only 7. Except I am counting Spring Bonnie as an Afton, so he's out. And Jacko Bonnie is an update 2 character, which like most challenges, he is completely banned. Meaning that for an entire run, we have 5 characters to work with, 2 of them being starter characters. This is far and away the most difficult challenge I've ever tried on FNaF World, so without further ado, here is FNaF World with only Bonnies. To start off in Fazbear Hills, we only have 2 characters on our team. Bonnie has some nice AoE damage and healing, and Toy Bonnie has some similar moves, and a randomizer move, which is pretty much straight up gambling, which, you know, who doesn't love gambling? To start off though, I just grinded some levels since both of their max health is fairly low. Okay, here we go. Grind time. Okay, bye-bye. Dead, okay. Since neither character was great, I was sort of dying over and over. But eventually, through enough deaths, I had enough Faz coins to get 2 bites, which would help us by dealing more damage. With these bites, I could move on to the second area, Choppy Woods, where we'd face more powerful enemies. But we could also defeat the 2 chipper bosses, which would allow us to get chips, which would give us simple stat boosts. I think this guy's weaker. Oh, yes, see. God, this guy's easier. Way easier. God, oh, no, it's just this chip, this bite or whatever, he just... Yeah, okay. Okay, nice. Ever comment. Okay, this is buck teeth, dude. This guy would have been bullied in school. Yeah! Directly after Choppy's Woods is Dusting Fields, which is where our first boss is. This is Bouncer, the first major boss of FNaF World. He has 2 major attacks. Snowball, which does 0 to the target's health -1, and a basic attack which does between 120 and 158 damage. If that doesn't make much sense, basically he can get us down to 1 HP and just instantly kill us. I even went so far as to get a medkit bite to see if the fight would be possible, but no matter how much I tried, I couldn't beat it. Luckily, there is one Bonnie that we can get in these areas, Withered Bonnie. Unfortunately, he has a ridiculously low encounter rate in this area at just 2.2%. If you want to see a video explaining how encounter rates work, I'd recommend watching this one by DJ Sturf. So I settled in for another grinding session so we could hopefully get some levels and get Withered Bonnie. Oh my god, Withered Bonnie! I don't want to lose this guy. No, 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 no. No, no. He unscrewed the empty slots. He unscrewed nothing. Yes. Oh my god. After almost 30 minutes, we were finally able to get Withered Bonnie on our team, which hopefully he would allow us to clear the Bouncer fight. However, this is another major roadblock. Even if we were able to beat the Bouncer fight, there were only 2 other Bonnies that we could encounter, and both of them were endgame characters, meaning that we have to do the majority of FNaF World with 3 characters. Again, 2 of them being starters. Okay. No more messing around. No. Oh. Hang in there. No, you're on 1. How are we doing worse? The basic strategy for Bouncer became this. I would happy jam every time we got decently low, and I would rely on Withered Bonnie and Toy Bonnie to be our main damage dealers. And with enough luck, as long as Bouncer didn't chain Snowball into a direct hit, doing enough damage to instantly kill us, I could keep using the med bites that I'd bought and happy jam to keep us alive. And just like that, I was able to clear the Bouncer fight on my second try. Since we were already in the danger zone and just barely past the first boss, I was forced to go red chip hunting early. These are red chips. Powerful chips that you obtain by either entering hidden glitched objects or behind powerful boss fights. The 3 chips I needed the most were Auto Shield, Auto Mimic Ball, and Auto Gift Box. Usually moves used by endgame characters, these chips allow you to use them earlier on. The first chip was located inside a glitched object. These are glitched objects, which allows you to access and *___TWRE. But in this area, there are powerful enemies with moves such as Fourth Wall, which can pretty much just wipe out an entire team. Luckily, you can avoid them if you go fast enough. It's okay, I'll just run away. Luckily, you can just run past them, and that's how I got the auto shield chip. The auto gift boxes chip is located in a cave, and the mimic ball chip is located behind a gravestone, and after walking around for a while, I found it above Mysterious Mine. With that in mind, we can now move on to the next part of the game. The only two areas we can access after Bouncer are Lilygear Lake and Black Tomb Yard. Both of them don't give us anything at this stage of the game. However, there is this shortcut in Lilygear Lake which allows us to get UFO bites a lot earlier. And I'm not gonna lie, these UFO bites should serve in the military. They are literally the most powerful bite in the game and do ridiculous amount of damage. And while this shortcut is very useful, we can just go straight to Pinwheel Circus the normal way through Black Tomb Yard. Yeah, kind of defeats the point of it being a shortcut. A little while later though, I did discover something that would change the entire rest of the challenge. I just realized Withered Bonnie's got like laser eyes. Is that canonical? Is it like,
is he Superman in FNaF 2, but he just gets fooled by the mask? I mean, he is Clark Kent. Disguises aren't exactly, you know, like, it's not a strong suit, so you never know.
Yep, you heard it here first, folks. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 lore solved. The reason Withered Bonnie is fooled by the mask is because he's Superman. Anyway, now that we were in Pinwheel Circus, we could face off against Browboy. Browboy is by far the hardest mid-game boss, and it didn't help that we only had 3 characters. And the first couple times that I tried this, I just died. And since we had all the characters we could obtain, and we'd already gotten all the red chips, our last resort was going back to grinding and hoping we could get more levels. Yay, FNaF World, grinding the same enemies over and over. Our biggest problem was Browboy's moveset. Like Bouncer, he had 2 major moves. His basic attack dealing 500 to 600 damage, and his balloons attack dealing area number multiplied by 2 plus random number from 0 to 10 times 3. If that doesn't make sense, let me explain again. Area number is a number assigned to each area of the game. This affects how rare a character is per area. Like for instance, Shadow Bonnie could only be obtained in Pinwheel Circus, I'm not saying that name again, and Pinwheel Funhouse. But he's much more likely to be encountered in these 2 areas. Since we were in Pinwheel Circus, that means that Browboy's attack dealt 20 times 2, then a random 0 to 10 bonus for 3 subsequent balloons. Or, to put it in perspective, 120 to 150. Why'd I make you do all the math instead of just saying that? Because the wiki made me do it, and now you have to suffer like me. After getting enough levels though, I headed back in, and with the gift boxes chip, we pretty much have 6 characters on our team. Every time we get low, we'd have to use Bonnie for healing again, since we'd need all 3 characters up until halfway through the fight. But surprisingly enough, I was actually dealing enough damage to get pretty far. And with a couple lucky attacks from Toy Bonnie's prize ball, we were actually making it through the fight. We did end up losing Bonnie halfway through the fight, which meant we had no healing. But with Clark actually dealing decent damage, it looked like we were actually going to make it through the fight. And on my first attempt after getting enough levels, we managed to just beat the fight. With Clark on 7 HP and all other characters dead. And just like that, the Browboy fight's complete. One thing to note, however, is you might have noticed with Withered Bonnie, I wasn't doing something important. Withered Bonnie has 3 main attacks: I-Beam, Pizza Wheel, and Unscrew 2. One of his most powerful abilities, and the reason he's considered good, is he has access to Unscrew 2. This is a move only 2 characters in the game have. Unscrew attacks have a 30% chance to insta-kill enemies. Unscrew 2 has a 50% chance. However, when I did my Freddy only challenge, one of the things that bothered me the most was I had to use insta-kills to kill Scott. This just never sat right with me. So I decided that we were not going to use any insta-kills whatsoever in this challenge. We had now had access to Pinwheel Funhouse. See, the weird thing about Pinwheel Funhouse is for some reason Scott saw this and went, Pinwheel Funhouse, huh? Let me just... Yep, yeah, there we go. That's the one right there. That's the one. But if we can deal with this eyesore of an area, even though we just barely did the Browboy fight, somehow Clark was doing insane damage and carrying most of our fights. But since we needed 2 more characters, back to more grinding, because the real FNaF World is the grinding we did along the way. Partway through grinding, however, I went AFK to make myself a sweet, nutritious slushie. And when I ended up coming back, I wasn't sure what these yellow bugs were, but for some reason they had appeared when I came back from being AFK. I didn't think much of it at the time, but oh no, they were out to get me now. Whenever I finished a fight, they were there. Whenever I went to a new area, they were there. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
I was going to go do a bit more grinding,
But I am now going to wait. I want to see how many birdies I can have. There's so many butterflies, oh my god. Anyway, back to grinding I went, with a couple hiccups along the way. You can't snowball Superman. Oh my god, you can snowball Superman. We were more than halfway through the game now, and we were up to Bubba. Bubba is a very strong boss. Way stronger than Brow Boy, able to one-shot us through the shield, which is insane. Luckily, however, there was one Bonnie that wasn't that rare. Nightmare Bonnie. And through enough grinding, we should be able to encounter him. But of course, the normally easy character took me forever. I saw many characters along the way. I saw Freddy. I saw Freddy again. I saw Springtrap. I saw Child of Springtrap. And then I finally encountered him, Nightmare Bonnie. All round having a really good moveset. Bite 2 and Pizza Wheel 2 all deal really good damage. Rainy Day 2 does a decent amount of damage and lowers the enemy's defense, meaning we can kill them twice as quick. But this all did mean one thing. Clark was now no longer our MVP. He was forced to retire into the shadows as second place. Well, could be worse. He could be Toy Bonnie. It's finally time to head into the Bubba fight. Even though our team was weak, we were still making it through the fight. See, Bubba's main aspect is jump scare, which stuns your entire party. Luckily, I had equipped the block jump scare chip earlier, making his entire special attack completely useless, meaning that we could go through the entire fight and clear it first try with very little deaths. And then we can head on to Fredbear, exhaust all his dialogue. After making it through this maze of the whatever this is, we were up to Pork Patch, having less health than Bubba by a significant amount, but having a lot higher damage by almost 2 times. Plus, he also had the move Toxic Bite, which did standard damage and poison damage over time. So I headed to Lolbit's store to get a boss straight. Oh my god, that's expensive. I decided to test my luck anyway and see if we could get through the fight. If you didn't see that, Porkbatch just one-shot through the shield our gift box, meaning he could 2-tap each character. Luckily, we were doing decent enough damage to actually get far, and with a few lucky prize balls, we could actually raise our defense, meaning that we could tank more hits. Please. Ah. Okay, please, Toy Bonnie. Yes. No, what? Oh my god, he was literally one. This fight was beginning to feel impossible. Luckily, I got in a good run with Clark and we were able to take him out. Finish it, Clark. Do it for us, Clark. Come on. He attacked the wrong one last. I don't know how that works, but we won. We won. With the last attack hitting an already dead space, I wasn't sure how we made it through the Pork Patch fight. But after the fight, we now got the key and we were able to face off against more bosses. These 3 bosses are the guardians behind the final boss. Not normally accessible unless you have the key, we could now unlock the areas that they were behind and fight them. But these fights would be completely impossible without one more character that we can get. Yeah, you can probably tell. It's Toy Freddy. Ooh, we got Shadow Bonnie. Yes. This is Shadow Bonnie, having 3 very powerful moves. He has Mimic Ball and Haunting, but most importantly, he has gift boxes. You know that chip from before that revives us? He can do this multiple times in a fight. Heading down to our first one, this was Snow Cone, a beefed up version of Bouncer. He had Snowball like before, a basic attack but higher, and a couple extra moves like Toxic Bite, Escape Key, Water Hose, Jump Scare. Jeez, how many moves can a single guy have? But with Shadow Bonnie constantly spamming gift boxes, we were able to just easily out-heal the fight, and with enough time, we were just able to breeze through it. We were getting really far. This team might actually make it to Scott. They're back. They're back. Leave me alone. The next boss on the list is Overclock, who had a very powerful move, Unscrew, meaning he could just insta-kill our team. And because I switched and deleted our gift boxes, we just died incredibly quick. But you forget, this is Shadow Bonnie. Shadow Bonnie can instantly revive our entire team, and then the rest of the fight is completely easy. Just like that, the Overclock fight is cleared. All that was left was the easier Super Glue, and now that we had the gift boxes, can you guess which one it was gonna be? Now that Seagoon was clear, we could hit the switch, and we could move on to the next boss, which... So did you wanna, like, talk this out, or... See, the scary thing about security is the fact that he had 100,000 health. That paired with his insta-kill basic attack and his alarm doing 10,000 damage 5 times. Even with gift boxes, realistically this fight should be impossible, right? One thing though is the shield chip blocks the alarm attack, and if we use the move Haunting, a move used by Shadow Bonnie, can you guess how easy it is? Okay. And just like that, with the security fight clear, it was now time to move on to Scott. Really? We're doing this again? We just did this bit like 5 seconds ago. What the fuck? Scott cannot be cheesed by Haunting. His basic attack also is an insta-kill, and he has fourth wall, which can wipe out an entire team instantly. We'd have to use gift boxes very fast in this fight to be able to beat it. Luckily, we can use a strategy I like to call double gift boxing, where we would revive our entire team, then Mimic Ball would gift box again, giving us an extra life. This entire strategy, however, relied on Shadow Bonnie. If he died, the run was dead, and we'd have to restart. Usually, this meant you'd have to redo the security fight, which took 10 minutes. Luckily, there is a strategy where you hit F2 and it takes you to the title screen and reloads you directly back into the fight. And with that, we could start trying to take down Scott. Come on. No! Please, we're close. We're close. We're close. Don't fall for that. Don't fall. No! Come on. Clearly we weren't getting anywhere. Even though we'd get close, we'd still die before we could beat it. Luckily, there is something we can do. Since keeping Shadow Bonnie alive was our entire strategy, I developed a system of just waiting on gift boxes until Shadow Bonnie's is gone. As soon as he lost his, we would immediately double gift box and revive our entire team. This way, I could avoid being chained into 2 attacks, and hopefully, we could clear the fight. Going down, Scott. Yep, yep, okay. Go. Okay. Come on, we're so close. No! 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 Oh god. 2, please. Oh my god, it's just him. The one to end it, the original! We did it! Oh my god, we did it. That took 2 days of effort. That took 2 days of attempts. We beat Scott with Bonnies. And just like that, we have beat FNaF World Hard Mode with only Bonnies. Thank you guys so much for your support. I couldn't have anticipated getting 1 million views on my first video. Genuinely. Have a good one. Bye.